Hello guys and welcome back to Basketball Report. It feels like a while since we last recorded.
Yeah, it does, but we've been dropping content constantly, but
Yeah.
it does feel like a while.
Does feel like a while.
Yeah, maybe because of the All-Star.
Yeah, All-Star break. It feels quite weird. But yeah, so today we're doing a weekly report and we're going, not, like
not a normal weekly report.
Just a bit of a...
Yeah, because there was a lack of games, we're not going to do players, we're not going to do MVP update. We're just going to wait a little while for the guys just to get back into the groove after the All-Star weekend. And then we're going to continue with, the MVP and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to discuss some trades that
took place, and maybe some potential trades, and just teams who should maybe look into trading, as well as players who should maybe put in a request.
Yeah, like the trade deadline is next Thursday, so the 25th. So it should be quite exciting.
Yeah, it can
to see what happens. In this coming week and so forth. But yeah, let's start. I don't know, where do we start? Let's start with the East. The East has sorted their when do you call it? Rankings out.
I would say they're still top heavy. That's the problem of the East. Heavy. They've been top heavy for years, but this season they're even more top heavy, I would say. But I have to say the teams from about, let's say beneath the Celtics to about, the Cavs from about 5 to 13. They're much better than they were in previous years. The teams are looking much better. And I think, it's still open for the bottom seeds. But I think the top seeds, the Celtics have been struggling, but I think they're sorted. I think the Heat, they've also been struggling, but I think they're good to go. And, then I just think, between the Hornets, Knicks, Hawks, Pacers, Bulls, Raptors.
Yeah, they all have a opportunity to get into the playoffs. But, we discussed it. We think it's quite early, but of the 4 or 5 in the East at the moment, one of them are going to be in the finals.
Yeah, definitely. I think either Philadelphia, Nets, and Bucks will be in the finals.
Yeah.
And I think injuries can play a big part in this. Depending on who's fit and who's injured. If Joel stays out or struggles with injuries, then Phila is out. If Durant still struggles with injuries or whoever, I think they still got a good chance because of the other players. And then the Bucks, if Giannis is out, obviously the chances is gone. But as long as Giannis plays, I think they have a great chance. I mean, because looking at the other teams, top heavy. So if the playoffs should have ended today, the top 3 teams would easily get each other. But I think the big thing here is who's going to be first and second. Because the team who's going to be third is going to play the team that I believe is first.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So they have sorted their ranking out. I think it will stay like that, like you said. But from 5 till the Hornets till the Cavs, that's where they can still shift around till the end of the season.
A lot. When you win like one game and you jump all the way up.
Yeah. And then the West, it's an absolute shit show there. Nobody's actually dominating. It's like the Jazz was dominating, but you look at the last.
Yeah, we were like on a 9-0 run.
Yeah, now they're on 5-5. So I don't know how many away games they had and all that stuff, but yeah, they lost last night against the
Warriors.
Yeah.
And I mean they didn't play bad at all. But the home record is still great, so if they're gonna stay first, I believe they'll get through the first round, which because their home record, which is weird because there's no fans, and then Salt Lake City isn't the easy place to go. But still, I mean their home record has been fantastic. And the Suns looking really good.
Really good.
Don't know if the Suns can stay there, that's the thing.
They just like a week or 2 ago they weren't even in the top 5. But they definitely stepped up. Denver also looking good. Lakers, Clippers lost in a blowout.
Both of them are struggling.
And the Lakers also struggling. AD is still not back. And
I think both of those teams should be careful. Because the Trailblazers and Nuggets are picking the pace up. The Trailblazers haven't been great, but the Nuggets has definitely been doing good. So I mean, we're 2 games behind the Clippers, the 3 games behind the Lakers. So I mean, it's still tight at the top, but
Yeah.
if you lose all your games in a week, all of a sudden you can really drop from second to about six.
Yeah, if you just have a bad week.
Yeah. So I mean, and then after that, the Spurs have been declining. I don't think the Spurs is going to be playoff bound. I don't know. It's difficult to say. They've been good this season. I mean, unexpectedly good. But I don't think they can maintain that momentum because teams like the Warriors and the Mavericks are picking up the pace, and
Yeah.
you don't want those teams to start getting warm.
Yeah, and I don't know, Golden State, they have an opportunity to go to playoffs, but they won like last night, but seems that they just have Curry.
Yeah,
That's
no.
all they have.
I mean,
so I don't know.
Wiggins has been Wiggins. I don't know about James Wiseman. To be honest, I understand why they took James Wiseman, but I mean, looking back at it, maybe LaMelo Ball should have been the better option for him. Maybe that does not fit the team as well. But seeing as Clay is anyway out again and not getting, I mean, Curry, I think his birthday was yesterday. I mean, he's 33 now.
Yeah, it's old.
You have to look at the future. The Golden State Warriors, people might say they're still contenders. For me, no. I mean, Draymond's pushing 30. He's over 30 as well. Clay with his injuries, history. And I mean, look, Curry is still doing fantastic at 33. But, let's be honest, he doesn't have 4 years of, prime Curry MVP left.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Definitely
looking down, I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, I want to say the Pelicans can make the playoffs, but at the end of the day, they've been having the same record as the Thunder for weeks now, and the Thunder is definitely not a playoff team. They're definitely not a contender. So how can you say the Pelicans are going to be in the playoffs if they can't even get over the Thunder? And the Grizzlies, they've got a lot of games in hand. Which you mean if they win all of them, suddenly they can maybe be seventh.
Yeah,
but if they lose all of them, they drop all the way down to 13th.
Yeah, and let's go be honest. The Rockets is literally they're on a 16
games
losing streak. We checked it before we did this video. Now
they're not too far away from the record.
For climbing in the top. I don't know.
24, top 24
or something like that.
Longest losing streak ever.
So
let's actually see who the Rockets' next game is, because I think it would be interesting to see who they play if the streak can continue.
They're playing
They're playing the Hawks.
Okay, they're going to lose
that might be, they could win that one.
The Warriors now. Pistons, they can win the Pistons. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be
close. And we're playing for Thunder. So there is an opportunity for them to win actually games.
Yeah.
The opportunity is there. But, I mean, looking back at it, they had a blowout against the Celtics, blowout against the Jazz, blowout against the Kings, blowout against the Nets. They lost against the Cavs, blowout against the Grizzlies, lost against the Raptors, blowout to the Cavs, blowout to the Bulls. Tight game that they lost against Philly.
They lost the Knicks, a blowout. And the Wizards, a blowout.
And the Wizards. They lost against the Heat, blowout to the Pelicans, blowout to the Hornets, lost against the Spurs. I mean, this is just not the last game they won was a blowout win against the Thunder on the 2nd of February, just to lose to the Thunder in almost a blowout 2 days later. And that started the streak, which has just been going on.
And it's not going to get easier. Like, they're getting some tough competition.
And I mean, the team isn't looking too
great. Good. Yeah, definitely. Let's check let's go and check the games that are coming up.
Yeah, let's look at the games that are coming up this
week. Tonight, not actually. Oh, Mavs Clippers. Maybe the Clippers played shit last night, so I don't know. And the Mavs are quite on a streak. I don't know, a streak, but
I think the Mavs is going to take that one. Porzingis, since the All-Star break, Porzingis has been looking good. He's been looking great. His knee, I know he's got warts on the knee. He's been struggling with that. It's going to be injury that's going to bother him throughout his whole career. But, if they just manage him correctly, not load manage, but, just If they know they've got an easy game, just maybe sit the guy out, play Luca instead.
Yeah.
They can fix it out. I've got a nice New York
Battle.
derby rival game, Nets against Knicks. It's actually competitive for once in a while.
Yeah.
There's actually, I don't say the Knicks is gonna take it, but the Knicks have been solid this season.
Yeah, it's gonna be hopefully. Well, the Nets. I think the Nets is going to take that one. Then we have Warriors, Lakers. Definitely want to look out for.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I think the Warriors gonna take it after last night's win against the Jazz. Massive confidence booster.
And then you have the Celtics Jazz tonight.
Yeah, this is an ideal opportunity for the Jazz to bounce back.
The Celtics.
If the Celtics do take that massive confidence booster, I'm not saying the Celtics is gonna look at going for the top, but they can definitely push for at least fourth.
Yeah, the Heat is definitely in their sights. Definitely.
Yeah, very close. They got a game in hand on the Heat. The Bucks are a little bit far behind. Talking about maybe four free games. So my big stretch, but nothing serious. Looking at the other games for the week.
Bucks 76ers, that's a big one.
Look out for the Timberwolves. Cat's back.
Lakers Timberwolves, yes.
Anthony Edwards is looking fantastic, and D'Lo is also not too far from returning. So I'm not saying they're gonna make playoffs, but I think they definitely improve. And then Trailblazers, Pelicans. I'm not saying it's a big game. Definitely a game for both teams to get a little bit of confidence. And that's about all. Bucks, fella.
That's
massive game on the 17th. Big game. And I think whoever takes that game is gonna want to take the top.
Yeah, that's about.
Not too much more games.
Not more on Thursday. Nothing actually. Friday. Nothing special. Lakers Hornets.
Bit of a quiet week.
Yeah.
And then Saturday there's just.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's quiet. It's not actually.
But I'm excited to see what the Rockets do.
Yeah, let's see how far they can take this streak. It's going to be interesting. So now let's discuss the trades that happened. So, as you all know, one of the biggest trades I could say of this season was definitely Harden moving to the Nets.
Massive trade. All the teams, just not the Nets, but all the teams.
Rockets.
Cavs as well.
Yeah, Cavs.
And it definitely affected the Pacers as well, losing Oladipo.
Yeah.
I think it hurt them more than they actually realized, looking at their record now. Speaking of trades, big elephant in the room, Andre Drummond. Don't know what's gonna go there. We're Lakers, not gonna work in my opinion. But the cap space.
It's rumors, but we tried it on that what you call trade machine.
We tried the trade machine. We tried to make it work.
The Lakers don't have the facilities for that.
Yeah, they don't have the players. Drummond's making 28. What are they gonna give for 28? Both teams. I understand the Cavs. They don't want to lose Drummond just for nothing. But at the end of the day, they're opening up cap space, which I think isn't too bad because that cap space they can give, to Colin Sexton when he signs his extension. So, I don't know. They've got Jared Allen. Keep Jared Allen. I would say, let Andre Drummond work. If you can get something for him, take something for him. But it's not the worst thing in the world to just let him walk for.
Yeah, got a free agent and let his.
Basically nothing. The Rockets was done dirty by the trade. In the beginning, though. Looking at their record there, let's quickly just brush over it. The record currently is 11 and 26. They're on a 16-game losing streak, which means their record was 11 and 10. So in the beginning, it didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
Looking at their roster, we've spoken about their roster in previous podcasts, so I'm not going to get into it this time. But looking at the team, not bad. Just a bunch of injuries, but since the streak started, it's just been going downhill, very ugly. And for the Nets, seeing as KD is injured,
yes,
what a move!
What a move! Yeah, definitely.
Getting Blake Griffin as well would be interesting to see how that will. I know it's not a trade; it was a buyout.
But it's worth
they're making moves.
Yeah.
They're making moves.
Then we have, I don't know what that was, but Kevin Porter Jr.
this is just showing me, and we've spoken about also, but this functionality
in
of the Cleveland Cavalier.
no, they're fine.
They sent Kevin Porter to the G League. We brought him back from the G League just to trade him for a future second. And Kevin Porter is putting up 17 points a game this season. And
I don't know. I don't understand
Cavs
that.
can really use. This is his second season in the NBA. I mean, he's 21, 22 years old, still very young. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but just a second for basically nothing. And your team isn't doing too great and could actually use a little bit of scoring because you've got just 4 centers. So
then we have the Pistons trade. Okay, the Pistons actually
smart moves. I think
smart moves definitely.
That D Rose Pistons and Knicks trade, great move for both. The Pistons want to get D Rose off the books. They want to rebuild, and in return, they're getting a young player in Derek Smith Jr. Derek Smith Jr. has been struggling, but D Rose is 32. He's over 30. And Derek Smith Jr. is younger, they're in a rebuild, and the Knicks get a solid point guard which can help them in the playoffs going this season.
Yeah,
so I think great move for both teams.
With D-Rose and Blake out of the Pistons, they are solid. They're going for a rebuild.
They are officially in the rebuild.
And they traded for
Army.
You're quite negative about that one.
I'm negative. I like Army. I like Diallo. He's been great this season. He's been solid, and just the energy this guy brings to the game. His dunks, his explosiveness, athleticism. It's nice to watch, but we've been struggling from the perimeter, 3-point wise, especially against the Knicks. Shot terrible. I think 8 from 20, 8 from 32. So we needed someone who can stretch the floor, and Sevi, he does stretch the floor a little bit. He's still young, so I think this is a great move for both teams. The Pistons can use Diallo more when we need him, to be honest with you. And Diallo isn't bad. He's putting up 12 points per game this season. Only his 3rd season in the NBA. He started out in the G League, and since he got to the Thunder, every year he's making consistent moves. I'm not saying he's going to be a great player. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star, but look, this is a guy who can give you in his prime, I would say, 18 points per game, as well as very, very good defense. And when the fans comes back, this guy's explosive.
Yeah, a bit of
he'll put up the dunks. And, for the Thunder, getting a young player, getting another pick, 27 second rounder, but still, a pick is a pick, and the Thunder's just building assets.
Yeah.
And, working towards the future.
So, me and Christian, we talked about this yesterday. It's strange to see so few trades happening.
It's not going on. There's a lot of teams that need
rumors,
trades.
Yes. And most of them are like waived, like Cousins being waived by the Rockets, ne?
Yeah, the Rockets.
Being played by the Rockets, but then it's like he's going to the Lakers. Blake's going to the Lakers. Drummond's going to the Lakers. Guys, the Lakers can't do shit. They don't have the capacity, and that's why they signed 10-day contracts with random guys I didn't even know from the G League.
Bringing guys from the G League up. But look, this is a contending team. I'm seeing a lot of these things. They simply just don't have the cap space. They don't have the players. There's certain players they want to keep on their roster. I would say that's 4 players, and that's Schroeder, Harrell, LeBron, AD. Untradeable, and those are the only guys on the team with solid contracts that are tradable and with assets, who has, any, I won't say value. Kuzma does have value, but he's on a 3-year contract. He's still in his rookie contract, so are we going to trade him for a big name player when he has that type of contract? It's not going to happen. There's a lot of teams that I think should make trades. I think Orlando should go into a full rebuild. Trade Mo Bamba, trade Vucevic, trade Gordon, trade Fournier.
Yeah, just go flat
Just trade everything, hit that rebuild. Vucevic has a lot of value. Really, Vucevic has been fantastic. He's an all-star. You can get a lot for him. You can get a lot for Aaron Gordon as well. He's still young-ish. And, his dunks, the fans love him. So I think those are teams that really should look into.
Celtics maybe should also look into get
one
someone.
or two pieces for the Celtics, and
help.
that can push them definitely into a contender. For me, they're not contending at this moment.
No, not
you
sure.
know, at the Suns as well.
Nuggets should definitely look at getting someone.
I think Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets would just be lovely, great move.
Nice. Yeah.
He gives them a little bit of everything, and they can really just.
Just get rid of
Millsap as well. Get rid of Paul Millsap, put Michael Porter into the starting lineup.
And let's just quickly look the Mavs. They also need something is not right here.
I think they need a playmaker.
They need someone.
They need a guy who can just play make so that Luka doesn't have all the offensive responsibilities. We've been saying it for a long while, but a guy like Ricky Rubio, he's European. They've got a lot of Europeans. Great ball handler. I mean, Ricky Rubio can do fantastic things at the Mavericks. I really do believe he can do that. And the Warriors as well. I think it's time. I'm after this season. It's time to hit that rebuild button. Trade Draymond. I'm gonna say it. Trade Klay Thompson.
The thing why we said is literally he's taking up cap space, and he's making what is he doing?
Millions.
Fuck all. He's just literally.
He's on a max extension for 2 years now, and
he didn't play even one game in this 2 years. So I don't know what they should. Otherwise, they're going to be in a shit show like the Rockets, or I don't know.
I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, maybe trade Curry as well after the season. I know he's been very loyal, and it's been great. But I think it's time to hit that rebuild. You've got James Wiseman, trade Wiggins as well,
and
trade the guys when they still have.
That shit happened when they traded D'Lo. Because if they had D'Lo now, we're looking here at.
He could have replaced Klay.
And they fucked up there big time.
Yeah, so especially trading for Wiggins.
Yeah, for Wiggins. Yeah. How is that even comparable? I don't know. Anyway, but gents, I think that will be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go and check out all our social medias. It's linked on our channel page.
Spotify, TikTok, Twitch.
Everything.
And as always, like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the section down below.
Yeah.
And just that basic
Get
stuff.
involved. But cheers.
Eat that jumper.